Welcome today. We're journeying through the vast Persian Empire, a land of grand palaces, powerful kings, and epic conquests. From its legendary founders to the clash of cultures that defined an era, we'll uncover how Persia shaped civilizations. Join us as we explore the stories, the triumphs, and the legacy of one of history's greatest empires. Chapter 1. The Rise of Cyrus the Great, 600 BC to 530 BC. Our story begins in the 6th century BC in a land called Persia, modern-day Iran. It was here that a chieftain named Cyrus, son of Cambyses of the Achaemenid family, rose to prominence. According to legend, Cyrus was fated to greatness. In 559 BC, he united the Persian tribes, overthrowing the Median Empire and setting his sights on expanding his influence. In 547 BC, Cyrus conquered Lydia in Asia Minor, and soon after, he took Babylon in 539 BC, where he liberated the Jewish people held captive there. By his death in 530 BC, Cyrus the Great had created the largest empire the world had yet seen, stretching from the Aegean Sea to the Indus River, founded on a vision of tolerance and governance. Chapter 2. Cambyses and the Conquest of Egypt, 530 BC to 522 BC. Cyrus's son, Cambyses, took the throne after his father's death. An ambitious and driven ruler, Cambyses launched a campaign into Egypt in 525 BC. Egypt's great empire crumbled before him, and he claimed the title of pharaoh, marking Persia's expansion into North Africa. But Cambyses' reign was marred by unrest and mysterious events. According to some accounts, he desecrated Egyptian temples and earned the disdain of his subjects. In 522 BC, Cambyses mysteriously died during a rebellion back in Persia, leaving the throne in turmoil. Chapter 3. Darius the Great and the Golden Age, 521 BC to 486 BC. Into this chaos stepped Darius the Great, a distant relative of Cyrus who claimed the throne in 521 BC. Darius was not only a conqueror, but also a visionary administrator. He reorganized the empire into provinces, or satrapies, each overseen by loyal governors, establishing a system of governance that allowed Persia's vast diversity to flourish. Darius also embarked on ambitious projects. He built the Royal Road, connecting the empire's territories, and constructed the Grand Palace of Persepolis. By 513 BC, he had expanded Persian territory into the Indus Valley and the Balkans. Yet Darius's reign was not without conflict. In 490 BC, he launched an invasion of Greece, sparking the famous Persian Wars. His forces were defeated by the Greeks at the Battle of Marathon, marking the beginning of a conflict that would shape the future of both Greece and Persia. Chapter 4. Xerxes and the Invasion of Greece, 486 BC to 465 BC. Following Darius's death, his son Xerxes ascended the throne. Xerxes inherited his father's desire to subjugate Greece, and in 480 BC, assembled one of the largest armies the world had ever seen. He led his forces across the Hellespont and into Greece, seeking to avenge Persia's earlier defeat. The invasion brought about some of the most legendary battles in history. At Thermopylae, King Leonidas and his 300 Spartans made a heroic stand, while at Salamis, the Athenian navy delivered a crushing blow to the Persian fleet. By 479 BC, Xerxes had retreated, and the Persians would not return to Greece in such force again. Despite his military setbacks, Xerxes left a lasting legacy in Persia through grand construction projects, including the expansion of Persepolis. Chapter 5. The Artaxerxes and Dynastic Struggles, 465 BC to 336 BC. Following Xerxes, Persia entered a period of dynastic struggles. Artaxerxes I, Xerxes' son, ruled until 424 BC, but internal conflicts continued, and each ruler faced challenges from both rebellious satraps and foreign powers. These conflicts stretched the empire's resources and tested its resilience. Yet, Persia remained culturally and economically vibrant, facilitating trade along the Silk Road and fostering an era of cultural exchange. Persian arts and sciences flourished, with scholars and artists contributing to advances that would shape the ancient world. Chapter 6. The Conquests of Alexander the Great, 336 BC to 323 BC. The 4th century BC would bring a challenge that Persia could not withstand. In 334 BC, a young Macedonian king named Alexander crossed into Persian territory. Inspired by a desire to conquer and unify, Alexander defeated the Persian army at the Battle of Issus in 333 BC, and then moved south to take Egypt. In 331 BC, Alexander confronted Darius III at the Battle of Gaugamela. Despite Darius's efforts to rally his forces, Alexander's superior tactics and unrelenting drive shattered the Persian lines, and Darius fled. The Achaemenid Empire collapsed, and Persia came under the rule of Alexander the Great, who sought to merge Greek and Persian cultures. Chapter 7. The Seleucid Empire and the Legacy of Hellenism, 323 BC to 150 BC. After Alexander's death in 323 BC, his empire was divided among his generals. Persia fell under the control of Seleucus, who founded the Seleucid Empire. The Seleucids adopted many Persian customs and ruled from cities like Seleucia and Antioch, blending Greek and Persian culture in what became known as Hellenism. The Seleucids faced constant challenges from rising powers, including the Parthians, who eventually overthrew them in the 2nd century BC. However, the Hellenistic influence left a lasting impact on Persian art, philosophy, and governance. Chapter 8. The Parthian and Sasanian Empires, 247 BC to AD 651. The Parthians revived Persia's power and independence, establishing a new dynasty in 247 BC. They skillfully repelled Roman invasions and maintained the Persian identity in the face of Greek and Roman influences. In AD 224, the Sasanian Empire rose, reaching new heights of Persian culture, arts, and science. Under rulers like Shapur I and Khosrav-Amran, the Sasanians clashed with Rome and later Byzantium, establishing a golden age of Persian achievement and a strong Zoroastrian identity. However, in AD 637, the Arab armies of Islam began their conquests. In AD 651, the last Sasanian king was defeated, marking the end of ancient Persia and the beginning of a new era under the Islamic Caliphate. Chapter 9. The Legacy of the Persian Empire. Although the political rule of Persia fell, its cultural, scientific, and religious influence persisted through the Islamic Golden Age and beyond. Persian art, literature, architecture, and philosophies continued to shape civilizations from the Middle East to India, leaving a legacy that endures in countless ways. The Persian Empire's achievements in governance, religious tolerance, and cultural synthesis became cornerstones of what we recognize as a sophisticated and lasting civilization. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the Persian Empire. From Cyrus the Great's vision to the legacy left by its successors, Persia's story is one of resilience, innovation, and cultural harmony. Until next time, remember, history's greatest empires continue to inspire and shape our world today.